All right, so you're getting ready for a restaurant host or hostess interview?
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's way more than just like, pointing to tables and telling people where to sit.
Oh, absolutely.
You're the first impression.
You set the tone.
Exactly.
Huh?
You're the vibe setter, and we've got some really cool RoleCatcher intel to help with that.
We do.
Career guides, sample interview questions, all that good stuff.
All the good stuff, yeah.
So let's dive in and see what these hiring managers really want to hear from candidates.
Let's do it.
Sprinkle in some of those career tips and even see how RoleCatcher's AI can really give you that extra edge.
Love it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
You know, it's interesting looking at all these sources is they all really highlight the importance of like going beyond the basics.
Okay.
You know, of course, being friendly, being organized, that's a given.
Right.
But what they're really looking for is that candidate who can show, okay, here's how I anticipate needs. Here's how I add those personal touches. And yes, here's how I can handle those hangry customers with grace.
Oh, hangry customer's a classic.
Oh, the worst.
But seriously, though, how do we convince them we can handle all that?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. Let's just jump into some of these RoleCatcher sample interview questions.
Okay. Sounds good.
So the first one's pretty straightforward. Tell us about your experience working in the hospitality industry.
Okay.
Now, what if I haven't actually been a host before?
Great question. And this is where those transferable skills really come in.
Okay.
The key here is to think about any job that you've had where you've made people feel taken care of. Retail volunteering, even that summer you spent as a lifeguard, it all counts.
Oh, yeah.
What you want to do is think about how those experiences show your patience, your problem-solving skills, that ability to stay calm when things get a little crazy.
So even if my only experience is like calming down frantic swimmers who lost their goggles, I can spin that into a customer service win.
You absolutely can. It's all about connecting the dots for the interviewer. So you could say something like, while I haven't worked as a restaurant host before, my experience as a lifeguard taught me how to stay calm and collected in stressful situations, assess needs quickly, and find solutions that put people at ease. Just like a lifeguard needs to be alert and ready to assist a restaurant host, needs to be attentive and proactive in ensuring a positive guest experience.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So you're taking those skills and showing how they directly relate.
It's all about framing those past experiences in a way that makes sense for the role.
Exactly. And speaking of stressful situations, shall we tackle another common interview question?
Oh, yes, please.
This one is, how would you handle a difficult customer unhappy with their seating?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is a tricky one.
Yeah.
But it's a really good opportunity to showcase your problem-solving skills.
I bet you've got some good stories about this one.
Oh, so many stories. But we'll save those for another time.
Okay.
Right now, let's focus on how you can ace this question.
All right.
Remember, it's all about active listening and empathy. Put yourself in the customer's shoes, acknowledge their frustration, and then offer concrete solutions.
So instead of just saying, I'm sorry you're unhappy, I could offer to check for a table that might open up soon.
Exactly.
Or see if there's anything else I can do to make their wait more comfortable.
Perfect. You could even offer a complimentary drink or appetizer if the restaurant allows it.
Okay.
It's about showing you're proactive, you're solution-oriented, even when you're dealing with a guest who's not thrilled.
Right.
And that actually brings us to another really important aspect of the host role, creating a welcoming and positive first impression.
And I imagine that ties into this next question. How do you make guests feel welcome and valued?
It totally does.
Because it seems like it's all about those small personal touches.
Really, you're spot on.
Okay.
Think beyond the basic greeting.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's examples mention acknowledging special occasions, inquiring about dietary needs, anything that shows you're paying attention from the moment someone walks in.
So it's about going that extra mile to personalize the experience, even if it's a small gesture.
Precisely. Like, let's say a family walks in with young children.
Yeah.
You could offer them crayons and a coloring page while they wait.
Oh, it's nice.
Or if you notice someone celebrating a birthday, you could wish them a happy birthday and offer a small dessert on the house.
That's a good idea.
It's those little things that make people feel seen and appreciated. And, you know, while we're on the topic of going above and beyond,
You're going to mention RoleCatcher's AI feedback feature, aren't you?
guilty as charged.
I knew it.
It is a fantastic tool for practicing your answers to these very questions.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your responses, it gives you feedback, and it even suggests ways to tailor them for specific roles.
Wow.
So, for example, it might highlight certain keywords or phrases that resonate with restaurant hiring managers.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like having a virtual interview coach right in your pocket.
Wow, that's incredibly helpful.
It is.
Speaking of practicing those answers, let's tackle another one. Describe a time you had to handle a difficult situation with a guest.
Okay, love it.
Okay, so I got a great story from my retail days about a customer who was convinced we'd sold her the wrong size.
Okay, I've been there.
But how do I make sure this story really lands in the interview?
This is where the STAR method comes in handy. Situation, task, action, results.
Okay.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say a customer was upset because they had a long wait for their table.
Mm-hmm.
The situation is the long wait time.
Right.
The task was to calm the customer down and find a solution.
Hmm.
Your action was to apologize for the wait,
Yeah.
offer them a complimentary drink, keep them updated on the table status,
Mm-hmm.
and the result was that the customer calmed down and felt appreciated despite the inconvenience.
Ah, so it's not just about bragging about my amazing customer service skills.
Right.
It's about structuring the story in a way that highlights the key elements.
Exactly.
The challenge, the solution, and the positive outcome.
Yeah. You got it. And don't forget to emphasize what you learned from the experience.
Okay.
For example, you could say, that experience taught me the importance of clear communication, empathy, and proactive problem solving.
Hmm.
See how that adds a little depth and self-awareness to your answer?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're not just telling a story, you're showing what you took away from it.
Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this.
I knew you would.
Now let's move on to a question that's all about efficiency and multitasking. How do you manage multiple tasks, ensuring prompt, attentive service?
Love this one.
This one feels like the heart of the host role, especially during a busy rush.
You're absolutely right. This is your chance to demonstrate those organizational skills and your ability to handle pressure.
Right.
RoleCatcher's guide suggests talking about prioritizing, delegating, and using technology to stay organized.
So I could mention how I used a color-coded system to manage my schedule in my last job,
Perfect.
or how I learned to delegate tasks effectively while leading a team project.
Great example.
Even if it wasn't directly related to restaurants, those skills still translate, right?
They absolutely do. You could say something like, in my previous role, I managed a high volume of customer inquiries while simultaneously handling administrative tasks.
Yeah.
I learned to prioritize, effectively delegate when necessary, and utilize technology to streamline processes and ensure prompt and efficient service.
That's a great way to connect those seemingly unrelated experiences to the demands of a busy restaurant environment.
Exactly. It's all about showing how your skills are transferable.
Yeah, I know we've talked a lot about those difficult customer scenarios,
We have.
but this next question seems to take it up a notch. How would you handle a guest who is unhappy with their meal or experience?
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one.
This one feels a bit more high stakes.
It does. But the core principles remain the same: active listening, empathy, solution-oriented thinking.
Okay.
But RoleCatcher stresses the importance of not just offering solutions, but following up to make sure they're happy. It's about turning a negative into a positive and leaving that guest with a good impression despite the hiccup.
So if someone wasn't happy with their steak, I could offer to have the chef cook it to their liking,
Exactly.
or even suggest a different dish they might enjoy more.
Perfect.
And then I'd check back in to make sure they're satisfied with the resolution.
Yes, you could say something like, I understand you're not completely satisfied with your meal. Would you like me to have the chef adjust it to your liking, or perhaps you'd prefer to try something else? I'm happy to make recommendations and ensure you have a delightful dining experience.
It's all about going that extra mile to ensure the guest feels heard and valued, even when things don't go exactly as planned.
Exactly, and that's what sets you apart as a top-notch host.
Okay, I'm feeling a bit more confident about tackling those challenging customer situations.
That's great to hear.
Now, remember those career insights we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yes.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually highlights some interesting advancement paths within the restaurant industry. You could eventually move into management roles, specialize in a particular area of hospitality, or even leverage those customer service skills to transition into other industries.
So many possibilities.
Wow, I had no idea. It's encouraging to know that this role could open doors to a variety of opportunities.
It's a great stepping stone, and remember, those customer service skills are highly transferable.
Right.
No matter where your career path takes you, the ability to connect with people, solve problems, and create a positive experience is invaluable.
Okay, that's a great point. It's not just about this one job. It's about developing skills that will serve me well in any field.
Absolutely. Now let's tackle another question that seems designed to showcase those skills. Describe a time you went above and beyond for excellent customer service.
Okay, I've got a story about how I helped a lost tourist find their way back to their hotel,
Ooh, tell me more.
even though it was way outside my job description at the time.
I love it.
It involved a map, some charades, and a whole lot of patience.
That's amazing.
Would that work?
It absolutely would. It shows initiative empathy, a genuine desire to help others, all qualities that would make you a fantastic restaurant host.
Okay.
Remember, you're not just taking orders and showing people to their tables, you're creating a welcoming and enjoyable atmosphere. Now let's dive into a question that focuses on the more technical aspects of the role. This one's all about reservations. Describe your experience with managing reservations and seating arrangements.
Okay, so my experience is a bit limited in this area.
Sure.
How do I tackle this one without sounding unprepared?
I think honesty is key here. Acknowledge your experience level,
Okay.
but emphasize your willingness to learn and adapt. You can mention any relevant software you've used, even if it's just a basic spreadsheet or calendar program, and highlight your organizational skills.
So I can talk about how I organized events for my college club,
Perfect.
kept track of appointments,
Yep.
or even managed a complex project with multiple deadlines.
Exactly. Those experiences demonstrate your ability to handle logistics, stay organized, and pay attention to detail.
Okay, you could even say something like, while my experience with restaurant-specific reservation systems is limited, I'm a fast learner and eager to master new software. My previous experience in event planning has honed my organizational skills and taught me to manage logistics efficiently, ensuring a smooth and enjoyable experience for all involved.
That's a great way to frame it.
Yeah.
It shows I'm proactive and eager to learn new skills.
Exactly.
Now, I know we've talked a lot about dealing with individual customers,
Right.
but what about teamwork? It's got to be a huge part of a successful restaurant operation.
You are so right. Teamwork is essential in a restaurant setting.
Yeah.
And speaking of teamwork,
Okay.
this next question from RoleCatcher's Guide is a classic.
Let's hear it.
Describe a time you worked effectively as part of a team to achieve a common goal.
Ooh, a classic.
Yeah. Interviewers want to see that you can collaborate, communicate, and contribute positively to a team environment.
It's not just about being a great host on your own.
It's about working seamlessly with the servers, the bussers, the kitchen staff, everyone.
It's a whole team effort.
Right.
So think of a time when you had to work closely with others to overcome a challenge, achieve a goal, or simply ensure a smooth workflow.
Okay.
And remember, it doesn't have to be restaurant related.
Okay.
Any experience where teamwork was essential will do.
I've got a great story about a group project in college where we had to organize a huge fundraising event.
Ooh, I love it.
It was chaotic at times, but we pulled it off and raised a ton of money for a local charity.
That sounds like a perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah, be sure to highlight the challenges you faced, how you communicated and delegated tasks, and how you ultimately succeeded as a team.
Okay.
For example, you could say, during that project, I learned the importance of clear communication, active listening, and recognizing the strengths of each team member. We faced several setbacks along the way, but by working together and supporting each other, we were able to overcome those obstacles and achieve our goal.
It's all about showing that you're a team player,
Yes.
that you can collaborate effectively, and that you understand the importance of working towards a common goal.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of goals,
You're thinking about career goals, right?
I am.
Well, RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually outlines several potential paths for restaurant hosts.
Oh, really?
Did you know you could eventually move into management roles, specialize in a particular area of hospitality, or even leverage your customer service skills to transition into other industries?
Wow, that's encouraging. I've always been curious about the career paths available in this field.
It's a field with lots of possibilities for growth.
Yeah.
And the best part is those customer service skills are highly transferable.
Right.
So you're building a valuable foundation for your future, no matter where your career journey takes you.
That's a great reminder. It's not just about this one job. It's about developing skills that will benefit me in the long run.
You got it.
Now let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
This one seems particularly challenging. How would you handle a situation where a guest arrives without a reservation and the restaurant is fully booked?
Ah, the dreaded no reservation situation.
Yeah.
The ultimate test of grace under pressure, especially when the restaurant is packed.
Right.
The key here is to demonstrate your problem-solving skills, and your ability to balance the needs of the guest with the limitations of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of solutions could you offer?
Well, could suggesting a later reservation time work?
That's a great idea.
Or maybe recommending another restaurant nearby.
Those are great ideas. It shows you're thinking proactively and trying to find alternatives.
Okay.
You could also offer them a seat at the bar if that's an option.
Right.
Or suggest they wait in the lounge area and you'll notify them if a table becomes available.
And of course, I do all of this with a smile and a sincere apology for the inconvenience.
Absolutely. Maintaining a positive and professional demeanor is crucial, even when you're dealing with a stressful situation. Remember, you're representing the restaurant, and your ability to handle these kinds of challenges gracefully reflects on their overall image.
It's about finding that balance between being accommodating and setting realistic expectations.
Exactly.
Speaking of expectations, how do you suggest we handle this question? What strategies would you use to ensure a positive first impression for guests, even during a busy rush hour?
This one gets right to the heart of the host's role.
Right.
Even when you're juggling a dozen things at once, every guest deserves to feel acknowledged and welcomed.
So it's about making eye contact, offering a quick smile,
Yes.
and maybe a brief, "Welcome, we'll be with you shortly," as I'm moving through the crowd.
Exactly. It's those small but meaningful gestures that show guests you see them and that you're working to accommodate them as quickly as possible.
Right.
You can even say something like, even during a busy rush, I make it a priority to acknowledge every guest with a warm smile and a brief greeting. It might seem like a small gesture, but it sets the tone for a positive dining experience.
It's all about maintaining that welcoming atmosphere no matter how hectic things get.
Exactly. And speaking of hectic,
You're thinking about RoleCatcher's AI features again, aren't you?
I am. How did you know?
Well, they are pretty amazing.
They are.
I'm especially curious about the resume builder.
It's a game changer.
Okay.
You can upload your resume to RoleCatcher,
Mm-hmm.
and their AI will analyze it and suggest ways to tailor it specifically for restaurant host positions.
Wow.
It even highlights the skills and experiences that are most relevant to the job.
Wow, that's seriously impressive. It's like having a personal resume writer at my fingertips.
It is pretty cool.
I'll definitely be checking that out.
You should.
Now back to those interview questions.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty confident about handling those customer service scenarios.
Good.
But what about questions that are more about the restaurant itself?
Ah, yes. Those questions that test your knowledge of the menu, the wine list, or the overall ambiance of the establishment.
Yeah.
Those are important too.
Okay, so if I'm interviewing at a fancy steakhouse, I should probably do some research on different cuts of beef and wine pairings.
Exactly. It shows that you've taken the time to learn about the restaurant and that you're genuinely interested in the role.
Okay.
It also demonstrates that you're eager to learn and grow, which is always a plus.
It's about showing that I'm not just there to collect a paycheck,
Right.
that I'm invested in the success of the restaurant.
It's all about showcasing your passion for hospitality, your eagerness to learn, and your commitment to providing exceptional customer service.
Right.
And, while we're on the topic of RoleCatcher,
You're going to mention their awesome database of employers, right?
busted, but for good reason.
Okay.
It's a fantastic resource for finding the right opportunities.
Okay.
Their database allows you to search for restaurants in your area, filter by specific criteria, and even get insights into company culture and hiring practices.
Wow. It's like having a personal headhunter at my fingertips.
It's pretty cool.
I'll have to explore that feature for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, ready for another round of challenging interview questions?
Bring it on. I'm feeling like we're really hitting our stride here.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about this one? Why do you want to work here?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's not just about what I bring to the table. It's about why I'm drawn to this specific restaurant.
Exactly. This is your chance to show that you've done your research, that you understand what makes this restaurant unique,
Okay.
and that you're genuinely excited about the opportunity to be part of their team.
So it's not enough to say, I love food and I'm a people person.
Right.
I need to connect my skills and passions to the specific values and mission of the restaurant.
Exactly. For example, if you're interviewing at a restaurant that's known for its farm-to-table cuisine and commitment to sustainability,
Okay.
you could highlight your passion for fresh, locally sourced ingredients or your interest in eco-friendly practices.
It's about showing that I'm not just looking for any job. I'm looking for a job that aligns with my values and interests. Precisely, it's about finding that perfect fit, that place where you can thrive and contribute your unique talents.
Right.
And, speaking of unique talents.
You're going to bring up RoleCatcher's AI-powered feedback again, aren't you?
You know me too well.
I had a feeling.
But seriously, it's worth reiterating how valuable this tool is for refining your answers and highlighting your strengths.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can help you identify areas for improvement and suggest ways to tailor your responses to resonate with specific employers.
It's like having a personal coach in your pocket,
Yeah.
helping you put your best foot forward.
Exactly.
Okay, ready for another challenging question?
Absolutely. Let's see. How about this one? Tell me about a time you had to deal with a conflict at work.
Ooh, conflict resolution. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I know it's important to show that I can handle difficult situations, but I don't want to come across as someone who's always in the middle of drama.
That's a valid concern. The key here is to choose a story that highlights your ability to remain calm, communicate effectively, and find a resolution that benefits everyone involved.
Okay.
Focus on the steps you took to de-escalate the situation. Listen to all parties involved and find a compromise or solution.
So instead of focusing on the conflict itself, I should highlight my problem-solving skills and my ability to navigate challenging interpersonal dynamics.
Exactly. You could say something like, in my previous role, I encountered a situation where two colleagues had a disagreement about how to approach a project. I facilitated a conversation where everyone felt heard and respected, and we were able to come to a solution that addressed everyone's concerns.
Okay.
That experience taught me the importance of clear communication, active listening, and finding common ground even in the midst of conflict.
It's about framing those potentially negative experiences in a way that showcases your strengths and your ability to learn and grow from those challenges.
Precisely. And remember, it's not about pretending you've never faced conflict. It's about demonstrating your ability to handle it professionally and effectively.
Okay.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something a little lighter. This one might throw you off a bit. What are your passions outside of work?
Oh, I'm always a little surprised when interviewers ask about hobbies.
Yeah.
How does that even relate to being a restaurant host?
It might seem unrelated, but it's a golden opportunity to show your personality, your values,
Okay.
those things that bring you joy. It gives the interviewer a glimpse into who you are beyond your resume and helps them picture you as part of their team.
So if I'm really into crafting, I could talk about how I love creating things with my hands.
Yes.
And how that attention to detail might even translate into setting a beautiful table.
Exactly. Or if you're an avid reader, you could talk about how you enjoy immersing yourself in different worlds and how that sense of curiosity might make you a more attentive and engaging host.
It's about showcasing those hidden connections between our personal passions and the skills that make us successful professionally.
You got it. And while we're on the topic of connecting passions with careers,
You're going to mention RoleCatcher's Career Compass.
of course, it's such a fantastic tool for exploring different career paths and discovering new opportunities.
Okay.
Let's say you're passionate about food and hospitality, but you're also curious about event planning or marketing. RoleCatcher's Career Compass lets you explore those fields, see how your skills might translate, and even connect with professionals in those industries.
That's so cool.
It's pretty awesome.
It's like having a personal guide to the world of work, helping you navigate all those possibilities and find a path that aligns with your interests.
Exactly. It's about empowering you to take control of your career journey and explore all the exciting options out there. But for now, let's get back to essing that restaurant host interview.
All right, bring on those final few questions. I'm feeling ready to tackle anything they throw at me.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one that often comes up towards the end of interviews. Do you have any questions for us?
I always struggle with this one. What kind of questions should I ask to make a good impression?
This is your chance to show that you're genuinely interested in the role and the restaurant.
Okay.
Think about questions that show your curiosity and eagerness to learn.
So instead of just asking about salary and benefits, I could ask about the restaurant's culture, their training program, or even their plans for the future.
Exactly. You could ask something like, what opportunities are there for professional development and growth within the company? Or can you tell me more about the team dynamic and the restaurant's approach to creating a positive work environment?
It's about showing that I'm not just looking for a job. I'm looking for a place where I can learn, grow, and contribute my talent.
Precisely. It's about finding that perfect fit, that place where you feel valued and inspired to do your best work. And while we're on the topic of doing your best work...
You're going to bring up RoleCatcher one last time, aren't you?
Guilty as charged. But seriously, It's worth reiterating how valuable their resources are for anyone navigating the job search process.
Mhm.
From their AI-powered resume builder to their comprehensive career guides and interview prep tools, they've got everything you need to stand out from the crowd and land that dream job.
It's like having a secret weapon in your arsenal, giving you that extra edge in a competitive job market.
Exactly. And remember, the most important thing is to be yourself, showcase your passion, and demonstrate your commitment to providing exceptional customer service with a little preparation and the right tools in your toolkit. You'll be well on your way to acing that interview and starting a rewarding career in the world of restaurant hospitality.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. I'm feeling so much more confident and prepared to tackle those interview questions. Thank you for sharing your expertise and for reminding us that RoleCatcher is such a valuable resource for anyone looking to succeed in this field.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, even though those interview questions can feel daunting, there's simply an opportunity to showcase your passion, your skills, and your unique personality. Embrace the challenge, have fun with it, and let your enthusiasm shine through.
That's great advice. And for our listeners out there who are prepping for restaurant host interviews, remember that you are the face of the restaurant. You have the power to create a welcoming and memorable experience for every guest who walks through the door. So go out there, rock that interview, and show them what you've got.